Hello and welcome back to our Parkitect Campaign Mode series. We have just finished up the Batavia K, which was one of my favorite scenarios, and now are moving over to the frigid side of things, up here at Ice Shelf Islands. A small amount of land has become available in the frigid north and presents an opportunity for an amusement park. Brave the challenging weather and help your guests forget the cold. For this scenario, we need to have at least 550 guests in your park, have a happiness rating of at least 75%, and then our optional goals are have an experience rating of at least 70%, and complete all non-optional goals by the end of June year 3. So let's go ahead and jump in to see what we have. We got $20,000 to start here. Do we get anything? We get $5,000 for having an experience rating of 70% or higher. We have an information building there, so that's pretty nice. Looks like we don't have a good chunk of, this is going to be difficult land to build on. We got a lot of trees. We have our depot thing over here. So that's okay. It looks like it's very visible on a lot of the areas, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Now we may need to put some different things in here, and then we do have quite a bit of land around. Alright, starting off this scenario pretty good. Already had the recording software stop, so yeah, so anyway, I don't remember what we were talking about. But yeah, pretty nice little entrance here. Nothing too crazy. A lot of trees. Not a lot of land to build on. Not a lot of flat land. So we'll probably be having to try and manage that in some way. In terms of our rides, we got Carousel 40 Cinema and Ferris wheel. The Jumper, Launch Drop Tower, Swinging Ship, Twister, and Wipeout. So those are pretty decent. The bobsled coaster, which we haven't seen yet, so that's cool. And then we have a monorail and no water rides. I don't think we're going to have any need for water rides whatsoever. In terms of shops, we do have the customizable shop, which is good for me. We have hot dogs, hot drinks, info kiosk, cash machine, soft drinks, vending machine, and toilets. So that is all good there. I wish I could put something on the outside here. That would be a nice spot for a cash machine, but whatever. It doesn't work like that. And I'm pretty sure I don't have anything else other than info. So that's fine. We have some good attractions so far, so the thrill rides. We're actually just going to go to coasters right away, because I think I'm going to need another one somewhere along the way to try and increase our guest count. And yeah, I think we'll probably build whatever we can up here, just to kind of keep things close and try and do it as cheaply as possible, I guess. And then we'll go from there. 500 people though, I don't think it's going to be bad. The temperature I know is going to be 28 degrees Fahrenheit is very cold. So I'm assuming I'm not going to be able to draw a lot of people in. We are going to go for a bobsled coaster, which, boy, I don't know where to put this bobsled coaster. I'd like to do it somewhere that's not going to prevent me from placing other things down. I feel like this is all area that's going to be good for flat rides. And, you know, maybe we just do it over here. We do like a weird little station this way and kind of just have a bunch of turns and whatnot. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's just going to be something that we're trying to get people into the park with. So let's go ahead. We will jump into the time lapse and see where that takes us. We go ahead and start this time lapse off with the bobsled coaster, and I quickly realized this is not that large of a space. So fortunately it keeps my bobsled coaster nice and small, but it forces me to be pretty creative with how I organize this bobsled. So I do realize that the upward hills are not necessarily the most realistic thing to do for a bobsled coaster. It's definitely not an airtime hill, but you know, it it needed to be there to open up some space. I did want to try and have some intense spots in this, so you can just see we just did like a downward turn that would put a lot of force on you. It comes back up, goes down through underneath the station, and then into our final block break section, as I'm just trying to find a way to get it back towards the station. Probably my least favorite part of the entire build, just because it goes over the pathway, and it just, I don't like it. It has no supports. We did need to redo some of the track there in the middle, because I could not get that to work at all. But eventually we get it, and we're all set. Next, after just making sure everything runs smoothly here, I believe we go ahead and we do put in the pathway, which the queue could be a little bit larger, but that's alright. There's worse things that can happen. We also go ahead and fix our path that we had to delete, and then we start getting in our attractions. And the idea with these, we wanted some thrill attractions, so we still drew people in, but we definitely wanted the cinema because we know it's indoors, we know it's cold out, so people are going to want to ride that. And then jumper, just because I thought that would just be a nice ride to have. Why not? So at this point, trying to figure out what I was going to do with the shops, I knew I didn't have enough space to get a depot in. So we look at a couple different options. I was thinking to do two areas, but neither seemed to work quite right, and I felt like it would be a better idea to keep the shops near the depot better, or the main depot, rather than have them a little bit farther away and make it a little bit easier for the haulers. I didn't think it was going to make that much of an impact for our guests, so we go ahead and do that, and we just build style. I wasn't really sure what to do, so we just kind of kept with the same style that was already in the game, and this I think proved to be key because it was a very simplistic build, so there wasn't a lot of cost that came with it. And if there would have been, I would have run out of money very quickly, and I would have been struggling for cash, and it wouldn't have looked even decent. And I don't think this is my best build, but it fits the scenario, and it provides enough for what you need to be able to believe what's going on here. So we go ahead, we finish up some of the trees, and then we are going to jump into what I believe is the base border around the outside of the attractions here, and that is just because we didn't want the belief of everything just being suspended there. We go ahead and get the metal pieces at the bottom, which I don't know if you'd see it or not, but I personally liked it. That's a separate dimension. And then we go ahead and focus on getting our area for guests to be inside while they're waiting. So we use a lot of doors in this scenario. It is a lot of flat, very boring buildings, if you even want to call them buildings, corridors. But by the end, it doesn't look too bad. There are definitely worse things that I've built. So And excuse me there, I had to move my mic away from my mouth. But the hardest building that we have here is definitely the station for the bobsled coaster. Trying to get this all lined up, it is not an easy thing to do. Just because I had everything going underneath, I had the coaster going underneath, I had the pathway going underneath. So I was really just building and seeing what was going to come up. And, you know, I think it turns out to be one of the nicest buildings that I've built out of all of this. So we do take some inspiration from the main entrance building, which is nice. And we do also focus on getting some indoor waiting areas for this as well. And yeah, I think it works out really, really nicely. We go ahead and we wanted to add some glass in here, so we go ahead and put those in. We end up removing half of that, but we do keep the windows, and we put glass within the walls, so it looks like there is glass in those windows. I don't know if that has any impact. I don't think it does, but it made me feel better about it. So at this point, we're just using the curved roof just to give us a little bit more definition on the building. And then I think we're going to quickly go ahead and finish up by adding in our doorways. I think we also add some pillars in here to kind of round off the edges. And yeah, I think we're quickly coming up. We just got to finish up a few of the pillars here. And we should be all set to get into the next live portion of this video. So yeah, once we finish up these benches and lamps, I will see you there. Alright, so we are here. We have our new attractions. Let's go ahead and get it started. I left a little bit of money because I wasn't sure what kind of problems we were going to face in this. But we got a pretty crazy bobsled ride. I do realize there's some unrealistic parts in here, but you know, it's not too bad. It kind of slows down enough, so I'm pretty happy with all that. One thing I wanted to be very conscious of is the amount of indoor space for people, because it's cold, so I assume having indoor places to go is going to have people be more likely to stay. So we got a bunch of those. The coaster queue's got an indoor section. It's also, the station's indoor except for the openings on both sides. We got this thing, the 4D Cinema, which is completely indoors, so I figure that will help. And then we also got some throw rides in here as well. So we got a launch drop tower to draw people in that's got a little bit of indoor queue, and then the jumper, which I think will also draw in quite a bit of people. One thing I didn't do, because this area was so small and cramped, I ran out of space, so I didn't have an opportunity to put a depot in here, but this is so close to here that I don't think it's that bad if we have the haulers come out. They do have a spot that they can go in the back here, but you know, that's kind of where we're at with that. So let's go ahead and get our prices set up here. So 33.8 times 0.15. We're going to be able to charge $5 for this. And just to make sure, medium, we did have to put up some fencing to cover up some different areas there. So that does good there. 53.5 times 0.15. Oh, this can charge $8. And one thing that's nice is this is a pretty high medium. I think we're pretty close to getting it into the high category there. And then, of course, our cinema. We are going to be able to charge $4 for the cinema, which is great. And oh, I just realized that I've got to change this and this and this one. Maybe. There we go. And then, of course, the coaster. Pretty good stats here. We are able to charge $10.50. It's got 3 trains that are able to operate. I don't know what the efficiency is going to be like on this thing. Oh, just realized I never went ahead and got rid of that. So people can now exit and get back onto the bobsled. So I think we're off to a good start here. We got our toilets in here, which is a tiny bathroom. I'm not a huge fan of this going over top of this, but there's not much else I can do, so that's just gonna stay there. And yeah, we got a nice little park here. This bobsled certainly has some intense sections. Oh no, I didn't realize that this cuts in here. So we don't have any corners, that's fine. I think we're gonna do alright here. I don't know what the terrain's gonna be like. We have a lot of time to try and complete this objective. We're gonna see where we get. Hopefully we make some money. We definitely have this thing holds a lot of people, I think. Classy, 40 people. That's pretty good. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of, there's not a lot of space for guests to walk around in. So this is definitely not going to hold 500 people. That is for sure. Our next thing that we're going to need to do is expand down this way. This little ice shelf is going to be great for some new attractions. Hopefully, the spinning coaster. That's okay. Not the ride I was hoping for, but you know, it'll do the job. Oh, good. We got our happiness rating. That is excellent. Oh, this is the right attraction to have this go viral. So that should draw in a bunch of people. And I certainly think that we're going to start to get things flying here. Yeah, this is actually a pretty decently created bobsled. Like, it's efficient. This gets held up. That didn't even get held up at all there. So, yeah, we actually probably could have made this queue a little bit larger. This queue is full. The jumper isn't doing anything. Oh, it's actually saying that losing money. Oh, look at all these people leave now in the rain. All of them left. Interesting. Very interesting. I do think this is a huge thing for us here. So, anyway, I will go ahead, and I don't think we're going to have anything to do here for a little bit. We're already at 150, 670 people. So that's pretty good to start. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit. We will probably jump into a time lapse and start getting some of our other attractions. We will probably get the carousel in since it looks like it's going to rain a lot. We can probably get the twister in and maybe even cover it. And maybe we'll go for the wipeout. Not 100% certain yet, but we'll take a gander and see what happens. So let's go ahead and fast forward, and I'll see you in the other end. Moving into our next time lapse, this is you can really see that we focus on just trying to cram as much in as we possibly can in this lower area, just because we have some flat ground to work with. We go with a couple different versions or different areas of the swinging ship, and we eventually find this one because it gives us a little bit more space here in the end. Also, we go ahead and get the wipeout in, which I didn't realize this while I was playing, but the little buildings to keep everyone warm in the queue by the wipeout do intersect with the wipeout. So the game let me build it. So I don't know. Obviously you can put walls wherever, but I did not realize that. I obviously would have just removed it. I don't think the wipeout was that big of an impact on this game, so I'm not too concerned about it. But anyway, we go ahead and just keep going with the theme that we've had, where we just get some different areas of the queue stuck in there. We do finish some of the goals in this, which is pretty nice, which was making me feel a little overconfident with where we were at with our guests. And then we go straight into the inverted coaster, which at this point, this is I think my third or fourth one that I've built, because this seems to be the only coaster that I unlock. And I think this one turns out pretty good. It is a shorter version, or shorter coaster, but we do get a couple different types of inversions in it. We get the Cobra roll, which I completely butcher in the live portion. I don't know what I even call it, but I think it's funny. And then we get these nice little S-bend turns before it heads back into the station. And then again, I did not leave a great way for me to get the queue finished for the attraction. So you can see I have it up above the track. We eventually go ahead and change that completely, because I was not liking the way the building was going. But before we do that, I decided to switch gears and go for a little food court type thing. And this one I was able to get the depot in, so we go ahead and switch that on, and it's a very quick build, nothing too crazy, pretty simple roof, and then we do add the curved roof just because it's a little bit nicer. But yeah, now going into our station building, I really struggled. I did not like the way it was looking, so I do something that's super unrealistic and put the queue line into the ground. And if it wasn't ice, this wouldn't be that bad, but the fact that we're just on an ice shelf, as it said in the name, it definitely would not work in real life. But whatever, this is a game, so we can do whatever we want. We go ahead and get a chance to finish up our building just by adding in some walls. We don't add any windows on that side, so you can't see into it whatsoever. And I wanted it to be a little bit different on the roof, so we just go ahead and make this odd shaped roof. That I was thinking that it might look better if one of the areas was higher than the other, but I was too lazy to go back and fix it. Plus I was running out of time in the time that I had to play the game, so we just kind of moved on. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this time lapse. I will not be joining you for the third and final time lapse, which is a little bit later, so please enjoy the rest of the video and the live portion. Alright, so we did quite a bit of work. We went for some quick building style, and we got a pretty nice inverted coaster, because it seems like we unlock the inverted coaster in every scenario, which is pretty crazy. But it's definitely got a nice pace to it. A little slow on the lift hill, so let's go ahead and increase that. We'll just make that 8 miles an hour, not 9, 8. And I think that should increase a little bit. It's got a weird station. It does do the job though. It keeps everything hidden. We have a little underground spot, which is very unrealistic in this scenario. But, you know, I thought it looked better than the other alternate route, so we should probably put some pillars in there, but I'm not going to worry about it, because I think I think this may do it for us. We certainly have 70.9. I think that's a little low because of it stops at the top now, or something weird. It does something weird. So anyway, we'll go off the 71.1 that's in there. So we can charge $10.50 for this thing. It does have a little bit slow pace through the twist here, as well as the Kroger roll, but nonetheless, let's go ahead. Let's get this thing open. One thing we want to do, we want to have the minimum waiting time up a little bit, and have it so it's set to full. We don't need to do any of that stuff. We also got a bunch of flat rides that I just squeezed in here because there's just not a lot of space, or not a lot of flat ground. So that's interesting. And got a little food court type thing here, which I think is nice and is going to draw a lot of people down to this area as well. But I think we're looking pretty good. We also we zoned out our staff. We got 2 zones in here. We got Zone 1 and Zone 2, which is in the back of the park. So I think that is good. And I think we're going to see a pretty big influx of people. And there are so many people in this park already. So we did get a few of our objectives during that last time lapse. The experience rating we've gotten, the happiness rating we have. What is our happiness? Oh, 100%. Fantastic. So all we need is the 550 guests, and I thought it was 500, so 550. Let's go ahead and fast forward because I think we're going to draw in a ton of people. We are going to try and cram as many people into this park as we can. Yeah, we'll just do some marketing. I'm not gonna mess with anything else here, but let's do attraction advertisement. Oh, not the right button. There we go. And you know what? We'll just leave it for flyers, and we'll go for 6 months and see what happens. We're gonna see so many people. It's gonna be so packed in this area. It's gonna be insane. Hopefully we start getting people down here that are gonna wait in line. I mean, this has got a almost fully enclosed queue. I don't know why I did that. It's the most boring looking building out there, but it works. Bobsled coaster, definitely holding its own. This is probably making us some good money at the moment. Yeah, 609. I imagine our tower. Wow, that's making us a lot more than I expected. Honestly, I think I'm gonna get another handyman, or not handyman, mechanic, because he's probably getting overwhelmed at the moment. Of course, we do start to see some thunder and lightning, which closes our brand new attraction, which is annoying. But now that we got this open, let's see. We should start to see a ton of people coming in here. Something tells me we need to put a janitor in here. Also, maybe we need to put a sign that says, don't come back here. And yeah, I think we're not getting any more people in the park. Interesting. That is super interesting. Is our happiness going down? No. Experience is rating still at 72. Is it because of the rain? I mean, we just opened a huge new attraction. You would think that would draw a lot of people in, and not more than just 100. This ride is packed. Packed. This ride's not doing anything. Oh my gosh, all those people. Oh, we're starting to see some people start to trickle in again. I wonder if I just need to build another roller coaster. We got the power surge. I guess we're gonna go back to coasters. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Do I still own $9,000 in this? I guess I do. So $6,000, $3,000 left. All right. 400. We are getting some people to come in, which is good. It's so packed in here. I wonder if that very cold weather. It's 38 degrees, so that's pretty nice. What else is... Did I miss something in here? Supply shortage, there's a shortage of ride parts, safety will suffer. Nothing too crazy there. I guess I need to build a new attraction. Top spin, or a new roller coaster. That's pretty good though. Decoration's medium. Oh, I guess there's no... Why? I would expect that to... So yes, that's nothing. You can't see anything there. You got negative stuff there, because that's just damage. Everything else is good. Is there something over here that I'm missing? No. Alright, whatever. 412 people. I made it kind of difficult here. Because I can certainly put out another attraction on this side, which I guess I should do that. But I'm going to have to go and find a way to get around through here, which should be alright, I guess. Oh, I can put some stuff up here. I can do a nice, coaster that would go back and forth here. That'd be good. Let's go ahead and let's increase this to 300 to try and speed this up a little bit. But yeah, I guess at this point I'm just kind of waiting. So I'll fast forward until we either jump into a time lapse or we get a lot closer to finishing this scenario. Alright, so I think we finally have the coaster that's going to do it for us here. We got the vertical drop coaster, and like I said, I wanted it to be a little diagonal, so we got a lot of that. It's got the vertical lift, the more than 90-degree drop, straight into a loop, into a crazy cobra roll that's got like a really tight top portion, into a barrel roll, an Immelman, and then it goes into this weird little thing before it hits a brake run. It slams on the brakes, does an outward bank turn, then does this little rock thing, like where it kind of rocks you to the one side, and then it swings you into the lagoon roll, which I think is just an interesting inversion. It's basically just an inline twist that goes, and when it gets to the end of the inline twist, it stops and then twists you back. So you get two inversions in one, and you'll really see it here. So you get the full inversion there, it stops, and then swings you back. I thought that was really cool going through the cobra roll of the invert. We got one crazy ass drop to avoid the inverted coaster. We also brought up the land a little bit to kind of cover one of the airtime hills in the dark here before it flies back out over the queue and into the brake run. So it is 19 degrees out, but we're going to get a lot of people here, I think, very quickly. Yeah, look at all those chickens. And on top of that, we're getting showcased by a popular content creator. So we are going to do just fine. And it should not take us too long here to finish up this scenario with all these people. I mean, this is a really interesting build that you have to do here. People really love the cinema because it's indoors, which is pretty interesting. People loving the power surge, which I would agree with that. There we go. And do we have to hold it at all? I don't believe so. We are done with... Are we done? There it goes. We have finished this scenario. I don't even remember what it's called. The Ice Shelf Islands is complete, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting scenario. I enjoyed it a lot more because it did challenge me to build in a different way. I had to go with a more simplistic build, or I don't think I would have been able to complete it as quickly as I did. But nonetheless, I did enjoy it. And let's go ahead and, you know what, I think we want to get focus on our fun little bobsled coaster here. So yeah, let's go ahead and save this and see what we unlock on the campaign map. Oh, we get the entrance building. I do like that. It looks a little different with the colors on here, but that's fine. I don't know why there's chimneys there. There's clearly nothing underneath it. But nonetheless, it looks pretty nice. And, you know, you just can't really see it all that well, so not that bad. That's going to unlock... Oh! There's another scenario up here. That is the only one that unlocks. So we got Happy Co Harbor and Biscayne Beach, and you know, since we unlocked Biscayne, we'll probably do that, but who knows what I will decide in the next scenario. But that's going to do it for this one, this episode. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you saw something I could have done better, make sure you leave it in the comment section. And if you want to find some more awesome Parkitect Campaign Mode, make sure you check out my channel, Mostly Average Matt. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later.